You want to seriously level up your negotiations, right? Your influence? Well, today, we're going to break down a really simple, but an incredibly powerful tool that can sharpen your communication almost instantly. Okay, let's just dive right in.
So first things first, let's talk about a problem that I guarantee you've run into this. It's what we'll call the communication mismatch.
You've been there, haven't you? You lay out your argument, it's perfect, the logic is just rock solid, but the person you're talking to, they just look blank. It is so frustrating, right? It feels like you're literally speaking a different language. And here's the big secret, right? The problem probably isn't what you're saying, it's how you're saying it. You might be delivering your message in a way that your counterpart, well, they're just not wired to receive it.
So, this brings us to the real core idea here. Understanding your counterpart's main sensory channel. This is that aha moment that kind of makes everything else click into place.
Look, we have to stop assuming that everyone processes information just like we do, because they don't, not even close. We all filter reality through these different lenses, and just recognizing that, well, that's the first step to becoming a master communicator.
And these filters, they're called sensory channels. I want you to think of them as the main highway that information takes to get into someone's brain. For most of us in our day-to-day conversations, that's going to be sight, sound, or feeling.
Okay, so how do we figure out which channels someone is using, right? Well, that's where this really simple framework for decoding these channels comes into play.
It's called the VAKOG model. That stands for visual, auditory, kinesthetic, olfactory, which is smell, and gustatory, which is taste. Now, for most of what we do, negotiations, everyday conversations, we're really going to focus on the big three: visual, auditory, and kinesthetic.
All right, first up, let's talk about visual people. These are the folks who need to see what you're talking about. They think in pictures, they love charts, they love diagrams, and they use words that have to do with sight. They want to get a clear perspective on the whole big picture. And here's the crazy part. A visual person will literally tell you how they think. You'll hear them use phrases like, "I see what you mean," or "show me the data." Their whole world is about, "let's look at this clearly." Okay, next up we've got auditory people. These guys process the world through sound. For them, it's all about what they hear. The exact words you pick, the tone of your voice, the rhythm of how you speak, that's the stuff that gets through to them.
So an auditory person, they're going to say things like, "That sounds good to me," or "I hear you," or maybe "Tell me more about that." They want you to talk them through it, to listen to the reasoning. It's a completely different channel.
And finally, we have kinesthetic people. Now, these folks are all about feeling. They need to get a handle on the situation to really grasp a concept. Their decisions come from their gut, from how solid an idea feels to them. And you'll hear it plain as day in their language. They'll ask things like, "So how do you feel about this?" Or they'll say, "This just doesn't sit right with me." They're trying to build a solid foundation, and at the end of the day, what they really need to know is, does this feel right to you?
Okay, so now you can spot the different types. But what do you do with this information? Well, this is where we shift from just theory to some really powerful practical stuff. It is all about matching their language. So here's a quick little cheat sheet for you. If you're talking to a visual person, use words like see, picture, clear, focus. For an auditory person, try words like hear, sound, resonate, listen. And for a kinesthetic person, go with words like feel, grasp, solid, touch. It feels like a simple switch, but trust me, it is an absolute game changer. So really, it all boils down to this super simple three-step process. Step 1, just listen. Pay attention to the kinds of words they're using over and over. Step 2, identify their main channel. Are they seeing the world, hearing it, or feeling it? And step 3, adjust your words to match theirs. That's it.
And why does this work so incredibly well? It's because when you speak their language, you're basically bypassing their critical filters. Your message just lands faster. You'll find you run into way less resistance. And, at the end of the day, you build more trust and a heck of a lot more influence, almost without trying. When you start doing this consistently, it really creates a fundamental change in how you connect with people and how you influence them. It's what we call the influential shift. If there's one thing to take away from all this, it's this. The best negotiators, the best communicators, they know it's not just about having the best argument. It's about framing that argument in a way the other person can actually see, hear, or feel. And that right there is the ultimate payoff. When you start to consciously match their sensory language, the whole dynamic just changes. The conversation, the sale, the negotiation, it all just shifts to a completely different level of connection and, honestly, effectiveness.
So I'll leave you with this one question to really think about. We've talked a lot about negotiation here, but what else in your life could change? I mean, your career, your relationships. What could happen if you stopped just talking at people and you started truly, genuinely speaking their language?